ja, hier in het Marriott Hotel in Gent voor het filmfestival van Gent. Met een dansfilm. Het is te zeggen, het is een dansvoorstelling van Ann van den Broek, maar wel gecapteerd door Mike Figgis. Mike, you have a theater background. I don't think you've danced yourself, or am I wrong?
You're right.
Yeah.
I have danced with a camera, but not never in a tutu.
Professional way. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Why this production? Why Anne van den Broek? Why Colette?
I have in the last period of in my filmmaking period, I've made feature films, but I've also done art films, let's say documentaries, and in particular, I've done two with dance subjects, one with flamenco, one with contemporary dance, and I like dance very much.
Yeah.
And so I met someone in Amsterdam, Janine, who's very connected with what's going on in dance and so on, and also with Anne's company. And she told me about the production. She said, I think this is something that you would really like. Right. So she kind of made some contacts between us. I went to Frankfurt, I saw the piece, I liked it very much. I filmed it immediately as a kind of way of seeing, how could it work. And then we just then started talking and producing, making connections, basically just working out how we could do it. And then, it wasn't such a big gap. I don't know how long it was. Not too long before we actually started making the film.
Right. And you connected directly when you first met. It was like, okay, this could work out really well.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I think we liked each other, and I loved the work, and it really was. When I think about it, it was more like a conversation about what's the best way, and I said, okay, that's why I took my camera.
Yeah.
So rather than, I said, okay, I think when you said, do you dance? I actually did get on the stage and dance with the camera, with the girls, just to sort of see how are they moving.
Right.
And that's going to dictate how the camera has to move.
So I guess a lot of preparation, really.
No, I mean, really, the most important thing is to make a decision early on about how could this work. And then, obviously, because the film business is something new for Anne, so I was saying, look, okay, it's probably horrible to say this, but it's probably about economics,
Right.
So we can make a film for this kind of money in this kind of a way, or we can make a film for nothing in this kind of... Like I already shot the film, actually.
Right,
We could shoot it like that. Yeah. Or we could have the luxury of a bit more time, a bit more, some lighting or something as well.
The extras.
And extras, extra practical conversations about how do you do this, how do you do that, what are they wearing, where is it,
Really practical stuff.
Yeah. I mean, almost like, which is a nice way of saying, no, there's no arguing about do we do it or do we like it. Yes, of course. How?
Yes.
So that's always a good sign.
Yeah. So you're saying that there were extra persons involved in the production, like it's on film now. How much different, or how different is the production, not on film but just on stage, and one that we see in Mike Figgis' film?
Oh, it's not so different. Mike stayed very true to the original dance performance, but he said from the beginning, Anne, don't underestimate the effect of the viewers watching this. So it was very clear from the beginning that extras should surround the dancers in the performance, and that's the new element. For the rest, of course, with the camera work, with how Mike filmed it, other things are coming up that's a bit different, like in the original dance performance, because it's the camera. Yeah. And but almost the whole content of the original dance performance is in the film. It's like 7 minutes less of the original dance performance, and that's it.
And how was this experience for you and your team? Because the cameras hovering around must be difficult or a bit strange because it's a new element.
Yeah, I remember because Mike goes very close to the dancers. But I knew that, and he warned me for that, and so I talked with them also, like, okay, because I mean, if you see the film, it's also very intimate. The piece at certain moments, or very aggressive, or so you have then Mike like this standing there with his camera, and they were prepared for that, and it was of course a huge experience, and I have to say the dances were they were very good, and Mike also how he dances across them and in between them. So that went quite organic also. There were no problems with the camera or whatever.
One of the things about if you're working with dance, particularly let's say contemporary dance, and every choreographer develops a language, a certain way of moving. So your job as a filmmaker is to understand that as quickly as possible. Because the thing I discovered, for example, working with Forsyth in Frankfurt Ballet, is if you're operating a camera, you have been taught to be very solid, so the camera doesn't wobble, and your momentum is forward. The opposite is true of dance. Number one, you should not be solid. You should be very light and flexible, so you cannot lock your legs. Secondly, your movement backwards is far more important than your movement forward, because you are reacting to a momentum from the dancers. So this style that is specific to this piece was very, very important for me and the other cameraman to understand. And at first, when we first started shooting, we kept a distance. But then I knew very well, because we only had a certain amount of time, we have to get in really close. And then one of the reasons I wanted to do the film was because I knew it would work close. Because it is so intimate. And as Anne said, it was very clear to me, and I explained this, that something that is powerful on stage, because you're talking about violence and sexuality, and there is a lot of nudity in the film and so on, it's going to be 2 times more powerful on camera than it was on stage, because of camera. So maybe you need to adjust or something. You need to think about these new dynamics because they will change, because of the camera. So that was an important thing. So we had to find a way to collaborate. In a useful, friendly, constructive way, that actually we both had a very important job to do, and I think, for example, making it clear to Anne that I wasn't going to take the film. Like once the film starts, it's like thanks baby, goodbye. I needed her. I need her to direct the dancers.
So you were kind of like co-directing.
Sure.
In a way.
Sure.
But it's like 2 worlds meet, find each other in the middle, something like that.
Well, that's true of most projects anyway. So most projects, I would say, your job, I work on my own a lot and I like it. Because I don't argue, I'm the boss.
Right.
But I know that the minute I make anything that is a collaboration, and more that's what I do, then I have to find a language for myself and their co-collaborator that is user-friendly, actually. Ultimately, we don't have to, it's not a love festival, although if it's good, we will love each other, right? It really is, what's the best for the work? What's the best way of working here? So, and I knew that we wouldn't do that until we actually started, because we had many conversations and meetings. I said the truth will only become clear on the first day. Literally, the dancers are now ready. Here are the cameras. Now we start. Here's the truth. Now we have a very short amount of time to work out how we're going to. What is our system? And it worked out good, because the great thing is, cameras have monitors on them, so I said to Anne, just stand next to the cameras and you can go from one camera to another. So we didn't have like a full, a room like in a TV studio. It's kind of like, you have to adapt a little bit to what is possible.
Could you take this to another level? Now you've worked together for the first time. Perhaps you could co-create something, because now it was based on something that existed. Perhaps you can, I don't know if there are plans to collaborate in the future, but it would be an idea to...
Sure.
We talked about it. We talked about, Mike said to me, like, maybe wants to really then create.
Yeah, from scratch.
Voila, yeah. So it's,
I mean, I make films like that, and there's no reason why you couldn't and shouldn't make a dance piece like that also.
yeah.
I mean, as in, okay, you have some ideas, you design a schedule, say, okay, we have 1 week in Amsterdam in June next year, and these dances are available. What do you think? Yeah, that'd be great. You know, come with some ideas, and we will, create that on film.
Yeah.
Why
So,
not?
but there's no definite plans about that, but it's something
Well,
that perhaps lingers.
Yeah. I
on,
mean,
yeah.
the main thing was that
First we need this
we did the film.
Yeah, sure, of course. Yeah, see what it does, and yeah.
No, but
move
also,
on from there.
we both jumped out of our schedule to do it.
Yeah.
I jumped straight into an opera. She'd already moved on to another piece, maybe 2 pieces.
Yeah.
She has a touring schedule. Next week I make a film for an opera in Italy. And then I go into rehearsals with the opera.
Yeah.
And then I hope to make a film in the spring, my own film,
Yeah.
and so on. So it's like, okay, yeah, for sure. It would be down to, do we have a little budget and some time, and then we'll do that.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing massive audiences going seeing Cotelet. Is it Cotelet? Because
I always call it
it's
Cotelet. I like
yeah.
it more than Colette.
Right. Because that
But it's
yeah,
the
emulates
Cotelet
the flesh,
film,
the
eh?
flesh part, right?
Yes, it's the Cotelet film.
Right. Well, good luck to you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.